Once upon a time, when man first discovered his knowledge of imagination, he eagerly attempted to share it with the near and dear. As this process continued, and gave birth to the language. But, speaking to the science, it says only an unacceptable truth of science. Measurement is the astonishing aspect that changed the whole scenario. Later it's shaped as what we know as language. But in the science terminology we call it as metrology. It's the proper way to specify something that can be easily understood by our brains. It has existed in our humanity because of a little concept, comparison. In the beginning, humans didn't know how to say something. So they compared it with known things. Days after days standard comparison needed to survive for the human communities. Predictions are needed, accuracy to know exactly what's going next. Measurement of rainfall in the present living world made a huge impression on the mankind, from the survive the humanity from hunger, to the escape from the threat for the human existence.
How the weather forecasting stations knows climate change, especially ice melting at the poles. May they have equipments to detect the extra water coming off of the sea? Right. But it is absolutely not. They utilizes the help of satellites to determine the glaciers melting. But how they do that? May they use remote sensing to acquisize the information about water content on the Earth's surface? In fact, it's not likely to be worked out. So, how we, and satellites perceive the effect of polar caps melting in terms of quantity, say, 90 tons of ice is melted down, something like that. It's all about physics. Gravity. It's everywhere. It's determined by the mass of an object. Meaning that more mass, more gravity. And less mass, less gravity. As the Earth's gravitational pull isn't uniform throughout the ellipsoid, because something causes movement that changes the gravity of the Earth at a given place, that is nothing but water. If the gravitational pull at a given place is less, it is meaning that the available water here on Earth is low, or may cause due to glaciers melting. If the gravity is high, it's meaning that there is more rainy place, such as in Amazon forest. We can also find the underground water resource with the help of gravity. But how the satellite could do that? By precisely designing the Earth's gravitational model at irregular intervals of time. This is how things works. But, how satellite design the Earth's gravitational model to aware about the climate change? The Earth's gravitational model is made by the NASA project known as GRACE. Gravity Recovery and Climate Experiment. The NASA launched 2 twin satellites. They are placed in the orbit at an altitude of 260 kilometers above the Earth's surface. These satellites differ by the distance of 220 kilometers in the orbit. If the leading satellite feels the gravitational pull at a place, then its velocity slightly increases, and it covers some part of distance, in comparison with trailing one. On contrast to it, if the leading one feels less gravitational pull, then its velocity reduces and falls back its distance. This slight change in distance, due to its velocity, is indistinguishable to human. But satellite do that, by regularly hearing the echo of microwaves, which are energized electromagnetic waves. With the help of Doppler shift, they accurately measure the change in distance. This data is sufficient to design the Earth's gravitational model. These twin satellites regularly monitors the change in gravity over a place by continuously modeling for every 30 days. With this data, and using little bit of math, we can easily figure out how much ice is melted down in poles, and we can make possible predictions on rainfall.